If you're over 50 and have ever felt that sharp, shooting pain that travels from your lower back, down your glute, and into your leg, you've likely been told the same thing over and over. You need to stretch your hamstrings. It's the most common piece of advice given for sciatic nerve pain, repeated by well-meaning trainers, friends, and even some doctors. But what if I told you that for many of us, that very stretch is not only useless, but is actively making the problem worse? What if I told you it could be adding weeks or even months to your recovery? This isn't a theory. It's a clinical reality I've seen in my practice for nearly 2 decades. The truth is that tight, pulling sensation you feel when you stretch isn't always muscle. It's often the nerve itself. And by yanking on an already inflamed and trapped nerve, you're essentially sawing a frayed rope against a sharp edge. It's a critical mistake, and it keeps millions of people just like you trapped in a miserable cycle of pain and frustration. But today, that cycle ends. In the next few minutes, I'm not just going to give you a quick fix. I'm going to give you a new framework. I will show you a simple 5-minute nerve gliding technique that does the opposite of that harmful stretching. It creates space, it creates relief, and it does it safely. And because even the best exercise can be sabotaged, I'm also going to expose the 3 hidden everyday saboteurs that are likely triggering your sciatic pain, even on your good days. One of them is probably in your living room right now. If you are ready to finally understand the real cause of this pain and get a practical, lasting solution that works, make sure you subscribe to the channel right now. Because this is information you will not want to miss, and it could save you from a world of hurt. First, let's quickly get on the same page about what's actually happening inside your body. The sciatic nerve is the longest and thickest nerve you have. It's about the width of your thumb at its origin. It runs from your lower back, navigates through a deep muscle in your buttock called the piriformis, and travels all the way down the back of your leg to your foot. The pain you feel, that electric, burning, or aching sensation, happens when this nerve gets compressed or irritated somewhere along that long path. I want you to think of the nerve as a long piece of dental floss running through a very narrow, winding tunnel made of bone and muscle. When everything is fine, the floss glides smoothly. But when that tunnel gets tight, maybe from a bulging disc or a tight piriformis muscle, the floss gets pinched. Now, what's the common advice? Stretch it. Pull harder on the floss. You can immediately see the problem. Pulling harder on a trapped piece of floss just creates more friction, more irritation, and more inflammation. It frays the floss. The goal isn't to stretch the nerve. The goal is to gently guide it back and forth, to floss it, to encourage it to free itself up. This is the entire principle behind what we are about to do. It's a shift from yanking to gliding. But here is a point that changes everything, and it's where we must begin. We can't just start flossing the nerve down in the leg. That would be like trying to pull a tangled rope from the middle. We have to start at the source. We need to open the gate at the very beginning of the nerve's path, right where it exits the lower spine. This is our first pillar of relief, our preparatory step, and it takes just 60 seconds. I want you to find a sturdy chair, something like a kitchen or dining room chair. Sit on the edge of it with your feet flat on the floor, about hip-width apart. We are going to perform a simple seated cat-cow. This isn't some new age trick. It's a foundational movement used in physical therapy clinics across the country for decades to promote spinal health and prepare the body for healing. Place your hands on your knees for support. Now, as you take a slow breath in, I want you to gently arch your lower back. Push your chest forward, let your belly drop, and look slightly up towards the ceiling. Feel that gentle curve in your spine. This is the cow position. Don't force it. This is a gentle mobilization. Hold it for a second. Now, as you exhale, I want you to do the opposite. Slowly round your spine. Tuck your chin towards your chest and gently pull your belly button in towards your backbone, as if you're trying to make a C shape with your torso. This is the cat position. You should feel a mild, pleasant stretch in your mid and lower back. That's 1 repetition. Now, let's move with our breath for the next minute. Inhale, arch the back, chest forward, look up. Cow. Exhale, round the spine, chin to chest, belly button in. Cat. Keep this movement slow and fluid. You're not trying to set any records. You are acting as your own physical therapist, gently rocking the vertebrae of your lumbar spine back and forth. What you are doing is more profound than it looks. With each gentle rock, you are creating tiny amounts of space between your vertebrae. This can help decompress the nerve roots right where they exit the spine. And clinical observations suggest that just 1 minute of this movement can increase vital blood flow to the area by an estimated 15 to 20%. You are literally lubricating your spine and preparing the nerve for the next most important step. Now for the technique you came here for, the one that can provide that fast, noticeable relief. This is our second pillar, the sciatic nerve glide, and it works in perfect synergy with the prep move we just did. Having created space at the top of the chain, we can now safely and effectively floss the nerve through its pathway. Stay seated in your chair, but this time sit up tall, pulling your shoulders back and engaging your core slightly. Straighten the leg on your painful side out in front of you. Rest your heel on the floor and let your toes point up towards the ceiling. You might feel a very mild tension here, and that's fine. Now, here is the part that feels completely counterintuitive, but it's the secret sauce. As you slowly and gently point your toes away from you, like a ballerina, I want you to simultaneously bring your chin down towards your chest. Hold for a moment. Then, as you reverse the movement and flex your foot back, bringing your toes towards you, I want you to gently look up towards the ceiling. You're creating a gentle seesaw motion. The nerve is being tensioned at one end while being released at the other. Leg straightens and head goes down. Foot flexes and head goes up. Let's do this slowly and deliberately 10 to 15 times. The key here is what you don't feel. You should not feel a sharp, stretching pain. If you do, you're pushing too far. This should feel like a gentle, sliding or flossing sensation, almost like you're pulling a silk thread through a tube. This movement glides the sciatic nerve back and forth through its pathway by just a few millimeters. But that's all it takes to help break up minor adhesions and reduce inflammation without yanking on it. The combination of the spinal decompression from the cat-cow and this gentle nerve floss can result in a remarkable reduction in pain, often a 2 or 3-point drop on a 10-point pain scale within the first 5 minutes. This is your new morning ritual. Forget the aggressive stretching. This is how you start your day. But here's the point that changes everything. Even the best exercise can be undone by bad habits. The most effective routine in the world is useless if you spend the other 23 hours of the day unknowingly pouring gasoline on the fire. This is where we need to play defense. So let's talk about the 3 common saboteurs that are keeping your sciatic nerve angry, day after day. The first villain is probably sitting in your living room right now. It's your favorite cozy recliner. I worked with a patient, Robert, a 68-year-old from Scottsdale, Arizona. He was diligent with his exercises, but his sciatica was always perfect in the morning and screaming by the time he went to bed. The culprit was the 2 hours he spent every evening in his old, worn-out recliner watching the game. That deep, slumped C-shaped posture puts immense pressure on the lumbar discs and forces the piriformis muscle deep in your glute to tighten around the nerve. Staying in that position for more than 45 minutes can decrease circulation to the nerve root by up to 30%. The fix? You don't have to throw out the chair. Just place a small pillow or a rolled-up towel in the curve of your lower back to maintain your natural spinal curve. And get up and walk around for 1 minute during every commercial break. Simple. The second villain, especially for the men watching, is the wallet in your back pocket. This one seems too simple to be true, but the physics don't lie. We worked with Frank, 72, a retired truck driver from just outside Chicago. His pain was stubbornly on his right side. For decades, he sat on a half-inch thick leather wallet for hours a day. That small object was tilting his pelvis by about 5 degrees, constantly compressing the nerve on that side. It's like sitting on a small rock all day long. The day he moved his wallet to his front pocket, he reported a 50% reduction in his driving pain within a single week. It's that simple. Check your back pocket right now. The third and most ironic villain is the one we started with, the aggressive morning stretch. Let's talk about Susan, 65, from a suburb of Atlanta. She was an avid gardener and a firm believer in a good morning stretch. She'd get out of bed, bend over, and try to touch her toes, feeling that good pull down her legs. But by 10 a.m., the shooting pain was back with a vengeance. She was stretching a cold, already irritated nerve, which can significantly increase local inflammation and set her healing back by days. The rule is simple, and I want you to burn it into your brain. Never stretch into sharp, shooting pain. Always warm up with gentle movements like the seated cat-cow first, and prioritize gliding, like the exercise we just learned, over aggressive pulling. So, which of these 3 saboteurs might have been part of your daily routine without you even realizing it? The cozy recliner, the wallet in your back pocket, or that intense morning stretch? I want you to tell me. Let me know in a single sentence in the comments below. I'm not just asking to fill up a comment section. I read every one of them because it helps me and my team understand what you're truly going through and guides the content we create to help you. We spent dozens of hours reviewing clinical reports and physical therapy protocols to distill this information down to the safest, most effective routine for those of us over 50. We sift through the noise, the bad advice, and the outdated methods to bring you what actually works based on both modern science and decades of clinical experience. We do this because we believe that everyone, regardless of age, deserves to live without nagging, debilitating pain holding them back from the life they want to live. All we ask in return is that if you found even a little bit of value or a new idea in this video, if it made you think twice about that morning stretch or check your back pocket, you take 1 second to click that subscribe button. It's completely free, it costs you nothing, but it means the world to us. It allows us to keep making this content for the people who need it most, and it ensures that this vital information can reach others who are still trapped in that cycle of pain. And you'll definitely want to be subscribed for what's coming next, because it addresses another huge issue for our age group, one that often goes hand in hand with the kind of instability that can lead to back problems in the first place: balance and fall prevention. In our very next video, we're going to tackle this head-on. I'm going to show you a simple, almost invisible tweak to how you stand and walk that can increase the muscle activation in your glutes, the single most important muscle for your stability, by over 30%. And here's the best part: you can do it without ever having to perform a single squat or lunge. This isn't about adding another exhausting workout to your day. It's about relearning a fundamental movement pattern that most of us have lost over the years. It's a true game changer for feeling steady and confident on your feet, whether you're walking in the park, carrying groceries, or playing with your grandkids. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss it. It might be the most important 5 minutes you spend on your health all week. Thank you for trusting me with your time today. If this video gave you a new perspective or a tool you can use, please click the like button and consider sharing it with someone you know who's struggling with this kind of pain. It's how this vital information reaches the people who are still searching for answers. But remember, knowledge without action is just trivia. The real change begins the moment you turn this advice into a habit. Start with the seated cat-cow and the nerve glide tomorrow morning. That's your first step, your commitment to yourself. Prove to yourself that you can take back control from the pain one gentle movement at a time. Your body has an incredible capacity to heal when you give it the right signals. I believe in your ability to do this. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.